What's up, you guys? Pete Carlo here, and we're back. We're back. First time in about a week. I actually got the Roni. I tested positive, and I was actually much sicker than I thought that I was going to be. I was actually really sick, so I don't recommend anybody getting it. I don't think anybody's trying to get it, but I do recommend you take care of yourself, do what you got to do, follow CDC guidelines and all of that. But I'm feeling a lot better, doing really, really well right now. But let's get started. Let's talk about Disney. So Disney is up 14% today. I had calls. I can't believe I sold them before this massive move. I knew something was coming. I could tell technically we were ready for a breakout. I saw a big move on Black Box. I saw a lot of big whales buying this up for the longer time frame options. But it's all good. Instead, I want to go over this. I want to go over the news that Disney had. I want to go over their investor day, and I want to go over where do I see Disney going in the next couple of weeks, months, and we'll even talk about potential years. So press the like button, subscribe to this channel, and let's get started. So Disney shows off an unstoppable power of its franchises. Disney Investor Day was a show off of force for their intellectual property. Now, you guys know that for a while now, Disney has been doubling and tripling down on their subscription service and their streaming service, which is Disney Plus. Disney, traditionally has always been like a media company. They've also been like theme parks and resorts and plenty of other things, but they've never really been a tech company, and something we're going to be talking about soon. They, have come out and said that they're doubling down on the network, that they're not really going to be putting a lot of blockbuster hits out there on, through the movie theaters and stuff like that. And even if they end up doing it, really their strong suit and what I think that they're really going to be focusing on is going to be their Disney Plus. They've put a lot of time and energy into this. I remember back in like 2017, they were talking about doing this, and they were one of the last ones to come to the platform, right? By the time they came out, they had Netflix, Apple TV was out, Hulu, Amazon Prime. We've had literally so many different things, and they were one of the last to do it. But Disney shares have doubled since March, as effectively gaining a trading multiple similar to Netflix, a feat that was purely theoretical just 2 years ago. So what that means essentially is when you have trading multiples, like if you look at Netflix, I think their PE is 80, so PE ratio of Netflix, and an 80.82, and then PE ratio of Disney. So tech companies have always had PE ratios that are on the very high side. And this is because a tech company can trade at a high PE simply because the nature of the game, what they do, the potential growth that the company has. A company like Disney, before Disney Plus, didn't have much growth. Like, let's really think about it. And let's even just take a look real quick at the past 10 years of Disney stock. Let's go to this 10-year monthly chart. It didn't really do too much, right? We had a big push from like 2012 all the way up until 2016. But then after that, like not much from 2016 all the way till about June of last year. The stock didn't do anything. It just sat sideways. It did go up a little bit before Rona, but it didn't do too much. And it's because the scalability of Disney before this was not that high, right? You have, what can you really do more, right? You continue to put out more great movies. They do have good movies, but continue to put out great movies, great franchises, continue to make good characters. Maybe you can put a couple more theme parks, but how do you grow the business? This was it. This was a killer for them. So now there's a lot of growth that this company can do because Disney's a bit of a tech company now, guys. That you got to realize that. So Disney's flywheel, mixing and matching characters in TV series, movies, theme parks, and merchandise has been carefully constructed by their executive chairman, Bob Iger. So keeping people in front of screens for hours to watch on Investors Day is absurd, and the event even had multiple intermissions. But as Disney rolled out show after show for Disney Plus, methodically ticking off of Marvel's characters after the Marvel character, Star Wars spin-offs after Star Wars spin-offs, Pixar movies after Pixar movies. I couldn't help to think, but Disney is playing the streaming video game at the entirety level of its competition. So overall, essentially talking about all these new types of things that they're putting out. So I think that they're doing, let's see, Disney Investor Day highlights. So I know that they're doing a new Loki show, a new Loki that they're going to be doing. I know that they're doing more spin-offs for instance, we're looking at something like new what is this, Raya the Last Dragon. They're doing that. They're also doing the new Star Wars as well. So they have put out a ton of different content that's going to be coming out on their streaming service, which is amazing. And if you know, my biggest gripe with this, basically the entire Disney Plus setup is that they just pumped it, they front loaded it with a ton of content, and they just never really put a lot of content out after that, because it's like when you have so much competition out there, it really is like you have such attention for eyes, whether it's like YouTube TV, regular TV, like all these streaming services. If you front load your content, there's only so much you can watch. So like Mandalorian, a lot of people watched. A lot of these great shows that came out, people had already watched way before, and now it's completely over. They're not watching them anymore. So to put a lot of content out right now, especially during a Rona, where we're still kind of stuck in the house, we're still locking down, like Pennsylvania is locking down again as we speak. It's a really, really good idea. The other thing is they are increasing the price to $8 a month instead of $7 a month. So it is a $1 increase. I don't really know. That's not a big deal, but I don't know how many people are going to stick with this. One thing that I've always talked about is I don't know how many people are going to continue to pay for this once it's not free. So if like you're a Verizon holder, or if you are one of these people who got in on like a bundle through a third party company, you haven't been paying for the first year. I haven't been paying for the first year, but they will be adding it on. And I want to see how many people actually stick with that. So overall, I think it's really, really good for Disney. I'm extremely happy for Disney. And if you're a shareholder, congratulations. If we look at the chart, you could see that something like this was coming. And I really wish I would have held on. So I had a lot of puts. I had a lot of calls, I'm sorry, on this. I saw that there was a lot of black box action happening. And so I thought to myself, all right, a lot of the black box calls were coming in for next year. And that's, when you're looking at a 1 year call, you're usually playing off of a big move, but maybe you might not know exactly when the move is going to be, what the move is going to be, or maybe you do and you just want to pad some time in there, because the longer that you have to go out in time, then the less decay you're going to have. And looking at the weekly chart, we were coming right off of a massive gap here. And we had a lot of volume behind us at the time. We were up through this thin part of the volume profile, so a lot of volume within here. We were tapping and double topping this $154 range, and then we had this massive breakout, 17% in just a single week. But if we look at the daily chart too, we were touching this range, holding, trying to get through before finally breaking out. And huge move, guys. Congratulations if you did hit this. Congratulations if you're a long-term investor. I think the big question right now is, what happens now, right? In the short term, I'm not even going to try to guess this. We're up in no man's land. This thing just continues to push and push and push today. I'm not even going to give you an analysis of where I think this is going to go short term, because personally, I think we are going to get a big pullback, but who knows? The question is, where will this go long term? I still think that Disney right now is probably appropriately valued. But I think that once we get all the parks open back up, once we get this vaccine out for everybody, once Rona is gone, depending upon how long that is, Disney really takes off. I see a lot of growth in the future for Disney Plus. I see a lot of growth in the future just for all the great things that they are already doing. So once life is back to normal, I think that Disney's a buy long term. Like I would potentially even be buying Disney at like $160, $170. I think it's a little much right now. Give it some time to cool off. But overall, guys, I hope this video helps. Congratulations to anybody who has been playing Disney or holding Disney. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. Thank you guys for everything. Hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and until next time, guys, peace.